Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. I'm joined by Ben Foster. Hello Ben Foster.
Hello Mark Goldbridge, you okay?
I'm good. Actually, I'm very good because Manchester United have won 4 of their last 5 games. We're in touching distance. I won't say the title, I don't want to get too arrogant, but we're in touching distance of top 4. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is about to come in with 25%. I want to get your thoughts, Ben Foster, on this season, but also on the next stage of Manchester United and what needs to happen at the club. Let's start off first. United in a top 4 race. We're in touching distance. Sir Alex Ferguson. I can see the Sir Bobby Charlton book there, actually, which is a lovely touch, obviously, on the day. Obviously, it's a funeral, and many Man United fans will be thinking about that on a Monday. So a nice reference to Sir Bobby Charlton there. I think you met him a few times, didn't you?
I did, actually, yeah. Lovely man. Yeah. Lovely man.
Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, right. Yeah, legend. It's Bobby Charlton.
He was very active, though, wasn't he?
Oh, very active, yeah. Good as, honestly, just always around the place with a smile on his face, advice for the youngsters, advice for the older ones as well, to be honest with you.
Nora.
Lovely bloke, honestly, proper gentleman.
Yeah, lovely. And he will be missed.
Yeah.
Never forgotten, though. Talking about top 4, though, Manchester United, current side, they are within touching distance. It's another win at the weekend. It's 4 wins out of 5. Mm-hmm. Some people want to go positive with it. Some people want to go reality with it. Where do you sit with Manchester United in this season now that we've, seen 12 games? So we're just under a third of the season?
I think there's going to be... it's a tough league. I think it's a tough league, all right? Apart from probably the bottom 3 who are going to maybe look like they might get cut adrift. The other 17 teams, genuinely, on their day, can never enough get a result against most teams. So when we see Luton at the weekend and everybody thinks Man United should be steamrolling it, Manchester United aren't that team anymore. You know, we spoke last week, actually, we said the next 2 matches, the Anderlecht match and the Copenhagen match and the Luton match, should be kind of real positives for Ten Hag. He'll get his team going. They should score some goals. They scored some goals against Copenhagen, at least. They just let 4 in. And... You know,
this goes back to what you've said a few times, though, isn't it? Like, I saw Luke Shaw liking a tweet and then he unliked it, and it was just basically it's not Ten Hag's fault. The players aren't putting the ball in the back of the net. And then Garnacho liked one saying that if we weren't down to 10 men, but this is the problem. I don't think many Man United fans really have an issue with the fact that there's talent to score goals. But Copenhagen and Luton are just prime examples of 2-0 up, down to 10 men. You've played games where you're down to 10 men. It doesn't mean you have to lose. And it's that mentality, isn't it, that they just still do not have that cutting edge. I mean, Luton, last 20 minutes, 1-0. Normally, you get the second goal, you're attacking the straight then. And actually, it's really like, whoa, how long's added on against Luton?
Well, it works both ways then as well, because when you're away at Copenhagen, you're down to 10 men, you've got to realise sometimes that you just need to get a result, even if it's a draw. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a draw, just cling on for it, shut up shop. But I still think Man United have this kind of, try and have this swagger about them, which there's no real reason why they should have that swagger, because they're not that good at this moment in time. So I think they should have come away from Copenhagen with a point at least, but they didn't. Really disappointing. And then the Luton game was massive, because I guarantee you if they'd have lost that, there would have been some massive shouts for Ten Hag's head, massive shouts. So
well, they'd have to be, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they don't get me wrong. They got the result, and they probably should have scored a lot more goals than what they did as well. Højlund is in the Premier League, unfortunately, just not finding the back of the net at this moment in time. But you know what? Going into the international break with 3 points in the bag, I think, 7th in the league, 6th in the league now, it's not the end of the world.
No, and I think that's the question, isn't it, really? Are United just scraping by, or are they actually building something? Because I look at that top 4 race and I think, well, you've got Spurs, who look very average now. They've had some injuries. Yeah. You've got Newcastle with injuries. They're in trouble. Villa, Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool, I would say, top 4, they're going to get it. 4th place, really. Yeah. Brighton are drawing at home to Sheffield United. Villa are doing well, but you feel that they could be one injury away from what's happening to Spurs. Yeah. So there is an opportunity for somebody to come through, and really, it should be Manchester United. But and with so much long left in the season, it should be Manchester United. But there is still this feeling that, no, I don't think it is. Maybe Chelsea will come through.
It could be, mate. It could be absolutely anybody. I mean, Chelsea, the last couple of weeks, you've seen the results that they've been getting. They look like they've finally found a bit of form. Putting the balls in the back of the net. 2 games in a row where they score 4 goals. So you say it should be Man United, but I don't think there's any God-given right why it should be. I think there's so many teams that are going to be scrapping. And like I say, I'll be honest with you, I think 17 teams genuinely, other than Man City, who are probably head and shoulders above the rest. There's teams that can take points off of anybody at any given time. So I don't think anybody can just go, no, we should be in the top 4. Definitely not.
Before we talk about the future in Sir Jim, then, let's just say Man United's next few games before Christmas in the league are Everton away, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, West Ham away, and then Villa at home. That's their next 7. Christmas time, will they be closer to top 4 or further away from where they are now?
It wouldn't surprise me if they're still there or thereabouts, but definitely not.
I'll take that.
I'd worry about trying to get into the top 4, though. I'd say with some of those games, there are some really tricky away fixtures, especially. And we've seen Man United's away form isn't particularly fantastic either. So some of those games, mate, worry me. The fact that I think we said off screen earlier, didn't we? United have won 7 games this season, and the majority of them have been against the teams in the bottom, especially the bottom sort of 5 or 6 as well. So, yeah, I don't know.
I worry about that Liverpool away game, which is about 4 games' time, where if you've lost a couple other ones, you go to Villa Anfield and get another
pumping,
then the
what
press
was it last
will
year?
be
7?
Yeah, and the press will just say he's done it again. There's no improvement, and he could be in trouble just before Christmas. There's a new, there's new ownership coming to Manchester United with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 25%. First things first, he's looking to renovate Old Trafford, not rebuild it. Yeah. Is that a good idea, or do you think you've been there, you've played the game, you've seen the facilities? We all have, but you've seen Carrington, you've seen that, and it's probably not changed that much in the 15 years since you've left.
No.
What does it need? Because you've been around other clubs. What does Manchester United need around that? Is it right to stay at Old Trafford? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's right to stay at Old Trafford. I think, Old Trafford's iconic, isn't it? It is what it is. I think if they can do a very good job of renovating it and really sprucing it up, something similar to like what Barcelona have done at the Nou Camp, where it might mean them moving out for a year or two, a season or two.
Where are we going to go?
Exactly that, though. That's the only problem.
We've got Salford. Gary.
So I don't know where they're going to go or how they're going to do that, but they really do need to spruce Old Trafford up because it looks so tired now. But I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what he's going to do, I think he's been brought in for more of the kind of how to actually run a company. And
he's going to be sporting control, isn't he?
And I think that's the bit that they're missing for so long. We spoke about it a few weeks ago, actually, didn't we, about getting a sporting director on board, a technical director, those sort of guys, a football guy who understands the game and understands football and the players that you need. And it's not just about having good players, it's about having good people. And I think that's the important bit that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to bring in, is making sure that he brings in the right people to do the job. What
do you think around Ten Hag with Sir Jim? Because although it's not a new owner, if he's getting sporting control, it's a weird takeover, this, because it's still going to be the Glazers and it could still be the Glazers for 20 years. But there is this 25% that Sir Jim gets, where he's took a portion, hasn't he? And he may never buy the whole club. He might have just said, I want 25%, but I will pump some money in. And obviously, if I increase the value of my 25, there'll be something technical going on. But with sporting control, automatically that means he's looking at the team, the manager, the coach,
but
the
rightly so, though, I'd say.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the most important part.
Yeah.
That is the most important part to start with, because...
you've been at a club like Watford who sacked their manager if he loses a couple of games.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can get different people with different ideas. We don't really know what Sir Jim's football imprint's like. He has sacked a few managers at Nice, apparently. But the manager's always the same, isn't it? So is Ten Hag in more danger with this or less danger, do you think?
I would say probably a bit less danger, to be honest with you. I think it's Gary Neville's been saying it for months and months and months now, that it's the bit above Ten Hag, it's the structure above
I've been saying it for years.
You've been saying
He's
it
probably
for years.
copying me.
Exactly that, yeah. He's been watching the United stand and then
he loves it.
Nicking your ideas. So I agree, though, I do. I think that's the bit that he's going to change. There's probably people above Eric Ten Hag that are going to be looking over their shoulders, because he needs a good clean out of that. They need a new approach to how they sign players. The kind of, you could have the team of best players on the football pitch, yeah? And whether they're the best players, I don't care, right? If you haven't got the individuals within them players, the people, the work rate, the gelling together as a team, then that best
personality,
that bit of personality is what gets you over the line. And I think Man United have got good players, but they just haven't got any people or personality.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. There was one thing else I was going to ask, but I think we've covered all of it. I want a bit topical. Varane, what do you think is going on there? It's another player that, with all due respect, and I know we're both big fans of Johnny Evans, and you like Maguire, but I'm sorry, if Rafa Varane's fit in a Manchester derby, I never believed it at the time, and he picks Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire. What's going on there, Ben? Because that can't be about ability.
No, it's not about ability. But I spoke about this with you again about 3 weeks ago, where if we don't get to see these players in training, we don't get to see them on a personal level.
I saw him on Wednesday night though, and he was checked out against Copenhagen. Wasn't he?
So this is what I'm saying. So if you can tell a person is low in confidence, you know, the manager will be able to see it, all the coaching staff, all the other players will be able to see it. If that player is struggling mentally with his confidence and he's nowhere near it, then you can't put him on a football pitch. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Like I say, you can have the best players in the world, but if they have not got that personality or that mental state, or they're low in confidence, then there's no point in playing them. There really isn't. The thing with putting Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans on the football pitch is, that they are so mentally strong. They will just deal with it and crack on with it. They can make a mistake in the first minute of the game, but they'll still spend the next 89 minutes doing the same thing, just cracking on and getting on with it. And that's what it comes down to, is reliability, knowing that when you put that player on the pitch, they're going to give you everything they've got all the time. But if a player's low in confidence, there's no point. Just
why is Varane last season was like the linchpin of that defence. He's a World Cup winner, he's a Champions League winner, and I don't think it's low on confidence. I think something's happened.
But it wouldn't surprise. You just don't know. Again, we don't get to see behind the scenes. But you've got to remember, these players are people too. You know, anything could be happening behind the scenes. We're just not aware of a lot of things that are going on. He could have had a fallout.
He might just be fed up.
It could be fed up. It could be anything, mate. It could be absolutely anything. So, but we're not.
Ten Hag might have called him a knobhead or something.
Definitely, probably did do. But we don't get to see that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
It's horrible to think the words that might have been used. Horrible.
But again, that's what it comes down to. I bet.
Might have had a pop at his hair.
Oh, no chance. He's got lovely hair.
Anyway, look, thank you. It is the international break. There's lots going on around the Sir Jim Ratcliffe stuff, and we wanted to get Ben's thoughts on it. Make sure you get your comments in below. What do you think about the future of Manchester United under Sir Jim? Do you think Ten Hag's job is safer or not as safe? And also, what do you think on Old Trafford? Should we be rebuilding it? Should we be modernising and going somewhere else in a different place? Get your comments in below. Thanks to Ben.
Cheers, mate.
Have a good international break.
Oh, I hate international break.
Yeah, me too. Bye.
Bye.